Join me for an inside look as to what a panto tour is like, including jokes and behind the scenes footage.
And welcome to Birmingham. This is our tour location. About to head to the theatre. I'm going to give you a bit of an inside look as to what tour is like. So this is what a dressing room looks like. As you can see, we have all the lights and you can turn them on. Hello, Jamie. You okay to be on the vlog? Look how pretty these lights are. Let's go to the stage.
We started with a safety briefing, which was funny as our Steelies were on the truck, so we had some heels on stage. I guess you could call them Heelys.
So I am on the loading floor, helping load some of the weights, which involves putting all of that massive stack of weights on, because it's double purchase. So this basically means you need to put double the amount of weight on for what we're putting on the bar. So when you've got LXs that are like 200 kilograms, you're putting 400 kilograms on there, or our portal, which is 410, 820. So pretty fun. It's very high up, if you can see, but it's fun to be able to be back on a fly floor. It's part of the fun bit of tour, doing slightly different jobs. It's also a very tall ladder down. You climb up it like proper rungs.
With most of the weight loaded, it was time for me to head down to the stage, not without a detour first.
And this is a hemp rope, which is what some traditional theatres use. We've upgraded here at the Alex, but try and do a close-up and see. We had this when we went to Cardiff on the ropes, and they give really bad splinters. But it's interesting to see all the little bits of theatre history around this venue. And welcome to a truckload of wardrobe and other stuff. Fun to unload.
Once wardrobe were in, we were on the stage where we were tying cloths on and putting conduit in them. There was a lift into the venue, which is how we got things like the flight places up. And here you can see the PA system going in at the same time as us doing the star cloth. It was then time for me to go back out to the trucks to help get scenery in, such as this giant skull, which we attached to the bar with shackles and steels before lifting, and this was followed shortly by the portals, which were attached in a very similar way.
And a day done, chorus set rebuilt. Almost ready for shows. So what I have not yet filmed is some of the food we're having, and actually for the first few nights, because it's advanced crew, so we don't need everyone, we go out for dinner. So we had a nice Indian pasta restaurant. We're going for Chinese tonight. I'll try and get a little clip, but I'm just going to go grab hotel breakfast and then run to the theatre. Or not run, walk to the theatre. And we're moving a lot of the seats from the theatre to make space for the orchestra. It's quite a hard job taking it across the road, but fun.
To make it easier, we had dollies to help transport it across and bring it into what was affectionately known as the garage, where we were storing the seats. Before we knew it, the auditorium was almost ready, as you can see from this beautiful video of it. We also had a bit of a last minute oopsie when we realised we didn't have a gimbal gun, so we had to go to this almost industrial area where it was a walk-through, drive-through to get gimbal gun and some tags. And the gimbal gun is kind of like plastic tags that you see in stores that we use to attach some cloth together, and we were using to attach the seaweed drapes to the back, but it was a bit surreal to walk through and grab the gimbal gun this way. And back at the theatre, the people flying system was starting to be installed, so I took the opportunity to go to the LX desk.
LX is really cool. They're using this desk to control all the lights on stage.
And definitely a complicated one that I have no clue how to use, but really cool to see the pros at work.
That's all working.
I then headed into the auditorium to help with LX focusing.
Nothing to see here. I'm currently now sat in the auditorium helping with bubble machines and sorting lights out. So I've showed you a bit of the grand circle, but also that box behind me there is where the lighting op sits. They'll be there throughout the show, hitting the button as I say go. And testing the lighting for the MD, so I get to stand exactly where the MD is going to be. The viewer stage, if you can see, there are screens behind me showing me as MD cameras.
So I think that's good.
And we're now in tech, and I have changed the stage left so I get a different view, and I actually right on the side of stage, so I can see right into stage, as you can see, which is really cool. Slightly different setup, no infrared or MD cam, but roll with what we've got.
And the rest of the day was tech and lots of blocking the musical numbers.
On a walk along the canal on the way to the theatre. Great to be able to see other cities.
We were then into dress before our first show. Now, usually we have pranks on the final show, but there was one prank that someone had in mind that, as it will become apparent, we had to do during the dress. That is usually Aria who'd be going across the stage, not a shirtless man. And after we finished the dress, we then had some time to relax, which the crew took quite seriously. And we were then into the first of our 4 shows. Which went really well.
So behind me is Popworld, where we went last night. It's on our penultimate show. We have a little party, always out in a Popworld. I'll show you a couple of clips, but it was just wholesome. I didn't really get much video, so it was just fun.
And one of the great things about going out as a company is that because we have choreographed answers to some songs, the song comes on, we get a whole performance. It was a very different energy to the final warm-up song we had the next morning before our final show. But the physical warm-up soon picked up the energy. After our final show, we then had the Get Out. I didn't film much of it, but managed to catch the very end before we then went to dinner, where the company very kindly greeted us with a little song as we were first to eat. It was then time for some thank you gifts and speeches, as well as some skits, but I won't include those. It was an absolutely magical experience being a DSM on the Panto this year, and definitely one I'm going to look back with fond memories of the time. I'm glad I catch some of it and share it with some of you to show you what behind the scenes of a pantomime is like.